I was gonna do my best to keep my composure leading up into the season. And I realize now it's because I hadn't seen the whole thing in motion. I haven't seen this poetry in motion yet to just really fuel the fire. You know me. I like to keep it even keel. No Kool-Aid drinking here, just a straight arrow, okay? Yeah. That's not gonna happen, okay? The juice is flowing, the boys are rocking and rolling, and Zach Alberverdi joins the show, ladies and gentlemen. We had ourselves a practice today. We had ourselves some clips. We're gonna talk about everything and anything that can come to mind on how we're gonna get to 15-0. That's all we're gonna do. That's all we're gonna do. Boys and girls, good to see you. Smash the like button, subscribe. Happy Saturday. And let's not waste any more time. Okay, let's get right after it. Let's bring our guy in, Zach Alberverdi. Let's see what he's got for us. I'm gonna bring the camera in here and get him dialed in. My man, Zach.
Shelton.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too, brother.
Oh my goodness, my man. You've been firing up the timeline lately with you got Fine Bombed retweeting you. I mean, you're just, you're on one.
It's fall camp time, baby.
How you feeling, man? How you feeling? Talk to me.
I got to see a whole practice today, so I feel great. I can't talk about all of it on the show, unfortunately.
I've heard.
Off the record. It was off the record.
I heard.
But I can talk, but I can talk about everything that we saw during the media period, and then I maybe can tease some things that I reported before practice.
Okay, I'll take it. So I was talking with Cam
because
Parker
I needed to report them before practice, so I didn't catch any accusations. If you catch my drift,
I got you. Yeah, Cam was telling me about this that you guys got a message of like, hey, you're not allowed to report certain things, and I was like, my goodness. I mean, I love it. I get it. But then I saw the media clips. So I was like, obviously there's a separation. And look, what's crazy is that myself included, we were fired up just by the 15 minutes of media clips that we got. Like we were good.
Well, I mean, DJ was throwing, so that
was all we needed. That was all we needed. Well, let's talk about what you can talk about.
Well, first of all, I'm glad that we got to do that. I appreciate them accommodating us. And obviously for Florida Victorious members, that was really cool that they got to see practice as well. So, and they got to see DJ throw for the first time in practice. You know, I reported on Friday that he threw at practice, but it was just in the indoor facility. It wasn't in like team drills or anything like that. Today, he did some of that. He didn't do any 11-on-11 work, but he was out there throwing the ball. He even threw a deep ball to Trey Wilson during the media period. He had another nice throw to Aiden Mizell. It was clear that he's able to make all the throws that he needs to. And he was very sharp as well. Like every ball that came out of his hand was crisp. It was accurate. He didn't look like a guy who, was behind the 8 ball maybe or hadn't been throwing enough. He's clearly been working. You know, he started throwing in late April and continued to kind of get back into the swing of things over the summer, and obviously had the recent setback that was all in the news this week. But to have him back out there in a practice setting like this, being able to let it go is obviously encouraging for him, for the players, for the staff, and then certainly everybody in the stadium. You know, the fans that were there and the reporters too. So. It wasn't all about him. Obviously, there was a couple other notes that we can, dive into. But I just think it's a big deal that he's out there. And I mean, look at those throws. You know,
he had me fired. I mean, I think you're spot on. I think obviously there was a lot of concern of how was the chemistry, how was the timing going to be. Like those are things that you can spot pretty quickly. And that was what I noticed right away. I was like, he looks like he's been throwing with these guys since. Like it didn't really stop playing. That's how it felt.
And I got to say, he has not, though. Like, he's gone out there, from my understanding, and done some team stuff and player run workouts, as they like to call them. But, I mean, he wasn't out there, to my knowledge, for, like, full go in OTAs, so to speak. He's still kind of been limited, or he's also been doing some training, on his own. And he's been doing, obviously, some shoulder rehabilitation and stuff to make sure that he's not going to have any type of setback this season with that. So it looked good today, and now I will say he did everything that we saw from the media period,
Okay.
and I, to be able to kind of see him throw some balls that were 30, 40 yards down the field, but just get back into the swing of things, not really have any wobblers or balls that hit the ground or balls that were incredibly off target, like none of that.
It looks smooth, and that's a key thing. And just to be able to, and again, a big thing we had, obviously, the boot noise, the boot gate that came out, for the fact that there was not necessarily a timetable on when there would be a return. If we were kind of hearing, I mean, there was rumors that it would go a little bit longer. The fact that he's already out of the boot and looking like he did today is feels very good that it wasn't.
If you read my original report, because I'm the one that broke the news.
Yes, sir.
Because somebody had to break it. My story said, like, we didn't know how much time he could miss, if any at all.
Yeah.
After I broke it, I did find out that he was definitely going to miss that first day, and then he wasn't even out there the second day, from what I was told. And then I got a call on Friday. I'm watching DJ throw right now in the IPF. I was like, all right, it's time to fire up a story. And then I found, in the midst of confirming it, that, again, he didn't go through team drills on Friday, but he was going through a throw motion. That ball was coming out of his arm. And I think just that alone let you know that he was going to be able to probably throw on Saturday, which he did today.
How did the other quarterbacks look? It's an important conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying all offseason, I know others have as well. I know my guy Nick Del Torre has been saying it, and people just think that he's biased, or he's like trying to he's got some he can spin it merch that he's trying to sell. But I mean, to me, Aiden Warner clearly looks like he's the backup quarterback. That was the word out of spring. He was the guy that got to run with the first team offense in the spring game. And that's, everything that we see right now indicates that that's still where it is. Does that mean that if there's a situation where they're trying to get their backups some work, or they need to get their backups in the game, that Harrison wouldn't get a shot or wouldn't get a series? I don't think that that's the case. I don't think that Aiden is locked up the backup spot, but I think that if they had to call on somebody right now behind DJ, it would be him. But it's also not a great situation. It's so to me, like, and again, hope it never comes to this, but like, I would like to see Tramel Jones get some more run with the twos in practice, and then just obviously opportunities this season to play 4 games at least. The game's got to present those opportunities, but like, the way that the backup quarterback situation is now, if there's not a bona fide backup, you might as well develop a guy for the future as much as you can, in my opinion. So I know Tramel was coming off of the injury in the spring. He was just getting kind of back into football, but now he's obviously full go, and he did a great job today from what we got to see, in the media period and just in general. So he's certainly, I'm sure, from a playbook standpoint, not where those guys are, and hasn't got the reps that those guys have with the second and third units. But like I said, that would be something that I think would be beneficial. Florida can find a way to do that in camp and then in season too.
Well, for those who just joining, there's only so much we can talk about. There was the media period, and then there was the period afterwards, which they can't speak on, which is interesting. I feel you guys gypped. There's going to be news from the fans that were there. They didn't get the same rules.
Exactly. There you go. If you go to GatorsOnline.com and you go to our message board on Swamp Talk, we've got some top secret stuff that has leaked out that I put right there in the forum for everybody to.
Can I read it now?
Read. Yeah, go ahead. It's not my information.
Which one do I need to pull up?
It's literally the thread that says top secret stuff.
All right.
It's not so secret though.
Okay. Let me read it now.
Go for it.
All right. Reports of DJ Lagway's demise has been greatly exaggerated. Mark Twain.
Those weren't my reports, by the way.
I know. This is astute alligator, by the way. DJ only threw in the 7-37 proportion and sat out 11v11, but man, he looked sharp. Touch, accuracy, vision, all there. He'll be ready. The drop after Lagway is severe. Uh-oh. Right now, it's clear they have Warner pegged as number 2, but the delta between Warner, Bailey, and Jones is minimal. Hopefully, Jones can come on as strong as he gets more reps, but there is no plan B here, folks. Oh, no. Zach, that's not good. This is Stu Gator.
There's a bunch of other great stuff. That's like the worst part.
I'll keep going. Trey looked every bit of an alpha at wide receiver, explosive at 3 levels and ready for a breakout if he can stay healthy. Tank has had a really good practice as well, which is great.
Hey, real quick, Shelton, while you read that, I'm gonna reconnect real quick to see if I can get on a better Wi-Fi.
Okay, fair enough.
You go ahead and bless the people real quick.
I'll keep blessing the people. Spent a lot of time watching the lines today, particularly the D line. Our edge depth is elite. The top guys were all disruptive when they wanted to be, but they're being preserved for the most part. Sapp moved inside a good bit, which I think makes sense. DT depth. All great stuff. Jaden Woods was unreal. You still there? Oh, no, he's out. He's gone. Jaden Woods was unreal. When I tell you he was in the backfield on every play, he was in the backfield on literally every play. He had a 3-play sequence where he chased down a backside run, then bull rush Barber into the quarterback, then cooked the right tackle on a speed rush. Special talent. That reminds me of George Gumb's interview about him, just saying like he's just a quiet, just assassin, essentially. Living up to it.
He's a different dude.
This is not reported by Zach Alvarado, by the way. The other guy I was really impressed with on the D-line were Mabachu and Brown. Tavarius Brown. Is that, I don't know if you can confirm that.
Well, there's no other Brown on the defensive line.
I just want to make sure because I've been hooting and hollering about Tavarius Brown. The guy's a monster.
No. We've been reporting about him too at Gators Online. He's definitely going to factor into that D-line rotation.
I was just going because of his sheer size from last year. I was like, this guy was a physical freak. Like you could just tell that he was a monster.
Well, the picture leaked out of him from summer workouts where he looks like unbelievable. He doesn't look like a 300-pound guy.
Yeah, he's like Gums 2.0, but on the inside. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like a visual guy. If you look like you're going to eat somebody for lunch, you're probably going to eat somebody for lunch.
Probably are.
Yeah, I've been dialed in with that. Mamachu played inside and outside and showed great ability to bull rush and throw off. So he was, I don't know if you can confirm this, going out to the edge? Is that what he's saying?
I would say the tweets that you're reading are pretty accurate.
Okay. He's going to be a dude by next year, if not sooner. Dude, Astute Gator. Shout out to Astute Alligator.
Oh, he's spot on. Shout out to Astute Alligator. Like, yo. I'm going to get those pages over at Gators Online, though.
This is what's crazy is like.
All of his tweets in one place. You can just come to our message board.
Yeah, I feel bad for, like, it kind of sucks for you guys because, like, you knew this was going to happen. Like, crazy.
Hey, I was prepared. I was ready for any videos that hit the social media stratosphere or any things like this. He gave a full-blown
spiel. We're not even close to being done.
No, yeah, it's a lot. Like maybe don't steal all of his thunder. Shout out to Astute Alligator, but like, yeah.
I don't even know. I've seen him before a couple of times, but I don't even look. Go give him a follow. Clearly, the guy's an insider. Yeah. We should have a Astute on.
He's clearly subscribed to Florida Victorious.
Yeah. A few guys I was expecting didn't show out as much. Detailed that a bit more on the FV board, but overall, this is a top shelf D line. I think it has a chance to be the best we've seen in the early Mac days. That's McElwain, or no, Muschamp or Mac?
Yeah,
McElwain.
Mac.
Oh, I love this. The left side of the O-line is going to maul people in the run game. When Slaughter, Harris, and Barber all get together, one side it's a freight train. Oh my gosh. What a description. Look, I think that's exciting. I want to hear about the right side. The O-line was much better run blocking than in pass pro, but some of that was on the backup quarterbacks. Oh, bad to the back news again. Bad news again. We'll get back to you. We'll save this for a little bit because this is. I
know. I got to give the people what they want. Like I can't say nothing, but that guy's firing from the hip.
I mean, I love it. I love that you were ready to rock and roll here. Anything else on here?
I think that last post that he had was pretty good.
Overall, I really think this team's passed to the eye test. That one.
Yeah.
especially in the trenches. Unsurprisingly, the ceiling is going to come down to number 2 being out there leading the troops. If he is, this is a playoff caliber roster. My goodness. I don't know who Astute Alligator is, but I feel like I've seen their tweets before. I would say they're on the modest side of things, right? Like I could be wrong there.
Yeah, he's
but
not sunshine pumping on there.
Yeah, I feel like he keeps it pretty realistic, and from what I've seen before. Again, we
Or
all
she.
have or she. Well, the Gator's wearing a top hat and dressed like a dude, so that's why I'm making the assumption here.
But you just never know. There could be a she astute alligator out there.
Yeah. All right, so look, I think that's fantastic. All great things. Let's see if we can play ping pong here. What of that you saw in the media part that supports Astute?
I mean, they're really talented at wide receiver.
Okay.
They've got a lot of dudes. Trey Wilson looks fantastic. Just from how he's bulked up. And then Dallas Wilson and J. Michael Sturtevant, their size is incredible. So DJ's going to have some dudes to throw to. That's for sure. You know, you got Aiden Mizell as well. There's a bunch of underclassmen, VB3, Tank Hawkins, Abrams, Montgomery, all these guys. Muiz was in a non-contact jersey, so we didn't really get to see him. Khalil Jackson's non-contact as well. So I think those guys that I mentioned right now are going to be the guys that factor into the receiver rotation. I think that's one of the biggest position battles in training camp right now. I mentioned it earlier when I came on, Shelton, but I reported a new war room at Gators Online if people want to know maybe how things are shaking up at the wide receiver rotation, which was reported before the open practice today, just for the record.
Okay. I was going to ask about that rotation, if you had any insight on it too. That was going to be my next question. Can we not talk? Was it top secret?
Well, I had a predicted depth chart in the spring and right before fall camp, and right now it's wrong at receiver. I'll say that.
Okay. Interesting.
You could see the headline on there, but Florida's got 2 freshmen that are working with the starters.
I did see that
from everything that we've heard. Yeah, and that's,
so I'm assuming that's probably Willis and Montgomery, because I've heard and Montgomery looked like a freak. Is that wrong?
Montgomery is a guy that I definitely expect to get in the rotation, but Wilson is the guy that is obviously. I mean, you can tell since that spring game. Florida almost seems intentional about how they're, promoting him online. Let's just say that, it's clear that guy, oh yeah, 100%. So, I think on the defensive line, that's another big question mark. Not question mark, but it's just there's just some unproven players there, and that's where you lost 2 starters, and you've had some depth. Attrition, DeAndre Robinson, Stephon Shivers. So yeah. I think seeing some of the freshmen today that have bulked up, Brian Taylor has bulked up. I asked Ron Roberts at Media Day about the nose tackle position and if Florida has enough depth there and enough guys that they can play at that spot. And he totally brushed me off and was like, we don't have a depth issue there. So, and you could see today, seeing those guys go through drills just in the media period, they've got plenty of guys that they can play inside. And their edge rushers as well, they get exotic.
So you had concerns, but after today, you feel better about it.
No, not at all. I have no concerns after today.
Okay, but you did. That was a question mark.
I did. I was curious. Listen, man, when you're talking about playing nose tackle, you're usually ideally talking about a 320, 30 pound guy, like a bigger defensive lineman. And there's just not a lot of those Cam Jackson, Desmond Watson type players on the roster. Mekhi Barrow is, and he's in a non-contact jersey right now. Jamari Lyons is, and he's put on some weight this offseason, and he looks great. He's
good weight
coming off that surgery. He's not limited at all. He's in the same boat as Aaron Gates, who we can talk about too.
Yeah.
But just seeing the young guys that they have and the way that Brian Taylor's gotten bigger, like they've got plenty of guys that they can rotate and keep enough guys fresh and have a good D-line rotation after what I saw today.
And again, that's what they want to do. They want to be able to rotate a lot. And you wonder too, because after losing Deontay Robinson and Shivers, there was that question mark, that concern. And it was like a lot of people have to step up. But Florida didn't really.
Not so much Shivers, but it's just like
That was a
that was
body.
one of the few that was one of the few like obvious nose tackles that they had on the roster, and now he's gone.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much he was going to contribute in the D line rotation. It's just like those guys that are that big and that you can count on to play nose are not a dime a dozen.
Sure.
Like they don't grow on trees. So when you don't have enough of them, you got to make sure that you develop enough depth there. And it seems like they've done that. And shout out to the strength staff and the nutrition staff. They've gotten these guys bigger, and I'm sure intentionally, so that they can play the interior of the defensive line this season.
And again, when they didn't really move, they had time. They lost Shivers and they lost Deontay Robinson. There was still the portal open. They really didn't seem to make any movements, and clearly they felt comfortable with who they had on the staff. And again, Brian Taylor was a big focus of theirs. I remember Tavarius Brown. I've been high on him. I was really excited to see what he was going to be able to do. So shout out again to Astute Alligator. Go ahead.
And, and if you didn't see this story at Gators Online, I got the biggest weight gains and losses that Florida had this summer and for the whole offseason. But just this summer, Brian Taylor added 16 pounds to get to 294. Jeremiah McLeod added 15 pounds to get to 294. Jamari Lyons added 10 pounds to get from 308 to 318. So they got those guys, all three of them, bigger, and those are the guys I think that they're going to count on inside.
In the right way, too. I feel like we can all agree that Tyler Miles understands how to put on the weight the proper way, not just, hey, the FSU diet, the Chick-fil-A sandwich with a side of Diet Coke and no pickles. So that's exciting to hear those guys put on that weight. I did see that somewhere. I think we talked about it a little bit. And Brian Taylor was one I did notice because he was coming in. Again, I think he's more of an edge guy when they brought him in initially and realized, like, hey, let's put on some weight. Let's move you onto the inside. And LJ.
That's correct.
LJ, I heard too, is looking more, because again, he always had the big body, but it was like kind of like a tweener. Like, should we, can he slide in? Can he slide out? What is he going to be? How did he look from your perspective of like, was he just edge ready?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely changed his body, and I don't necessarily know. Let me double check this. I don't necessarily know that you see it in his weight gain. I don't think that he
didn't put anything on crazy. I think it was just the transformation of work and toning up the right areas was the big thing.
Well, it was the story I wrote about this week was really cool. Him, Cam James, and George Gums took up boxing this summer at the request of Mike Peterson. And, LJ to go from playing the F position to the jack position, which is their two edge positions. You got to be more athletic and be able to drop into coverage and blitz a little bit more standing up if you're going to play that jack spot. So they needed LJ to get, more athletic, more durable, improve his stamina. And it looks like he's done that. And I think I would imagine the boxing probably helped.
For sure. Boxing's a great workout. You mentioned Aaron Gates. He was not in a non-contact jersey. There was that one clip of him going absolutely nuts on the sled. Aaron Gates is one of my favorites. Just the way that he plays on the football field. Had a lot of picks in the Georgia game. That was kind of where I would feel like, rose to being one of those guys. I've always been a fan favorite of the DBs at Vernon Hargraves, Matt Elam's. Those are always my favorite players growing up as a kid alongside of Percy Harvard. Just Major Wright. Just the freaks in the backfield that just make big hits, big plays, explosions when you need them. That was Gates last year. Gets hurt in the Ole Miss game, I believe it was, ACL, and is making, Florida's got something figured out with getting these guys back from an ACL tear. But talk to us about him and how he's looked.
Yeah, he was probably one of the biggest takeaways of the day. We knew that he wasn't limited anymore. Billy talked about him at the start of camp. But to see him out there today, going through those drills, going through the full day of practice, he's 8 months removed from ACL surgery. And not only is he not in a non-contact jersey and tackling, he doesn't even have a knee brace on. He doesn't even have a compression sleeve on.
No
Like, he
bionic
has
leg then,
nothing.
like DJ?
Yeah, no. Like, this guy's got nothing on his knee, and I don't know if that'll maybe be the case when the season comes, but like he's out there tackling, so if they were going to take that precaution then, they'd probably take it now. Uh, I do know from asking around about him in the offseason that he just did an incredible job with his recovery. This is his second time coming back from an ACL injury, and the first time he came back really fast. So this time, and that was in high school. So this time, being at UF, having all the resources that he had, and then just knowing what it takes to be able to come back from that injury, because as great as he was playing last year, that was a guy that was, 2 years removed from a torn ACL. So he's got the wherewithal to be able to fight back from that. And certainly he had the strength staff help him through that process. But to have him out there going through practice and playing the way that he played today, like, shout out to Aaron Gates. And that is a big deal that they're going to have him ready for the season. Big deal. I think
impact.
he's one of their best players on defense.
Agreed.
Not just in the secondary, on defense.
Just in general. I couldn't agree more. Speaking of kind of in that same area, how was the cornerback play? I think that is D-line depth was the first concern, or one of the concerns. Then the next major one was, I think we're excited for the talent, but it's unknown on the cornerback / I wouldn't say safety room. I'd say more of the cornerback room. Did you get any taste of that?
Yeah, unfortunately, Dijon Johnson was in non-contact today, and he did not go through practice. So, that's obviously good for Cormani McClain, because that meant he was running with the starters and getting a lot of work with the first team defense. But it would have been nice to see Dijon Johnson back, because he had an incredible offseason as well, with summer workouts and stuff, and got a ton of praise from Tyler Miles. Got named one of the kings of the swamp, that they had during the summer. So I wish I could have seen Dijon, but we got to see Cormani out there, kind of the weight that he's put on. He's still gained some more weight this summer. Clearly looks like a guy that is ready to take that next step in his game. And then Devin Moore, he has taken these young cornerbacks under his wing. The Ben Hankses, Onis, Flowers. So it was good to see those guys for the first time, and then kind of Ben Hanks, the jump that he's made from his spring now to going into the fall camp. So to me, Ben Hanks, there's a big competition there for that fourth cornerback spot. I mean, we know that Dijon and Cormani are the second and third cornerbacks in their rotation, but who's that fourth cornerback? Like, we don't know. Michael Caraway has moved to safety, so that spot in the rotation is up for grabs. I would probably think at some point it's going to be Ben Hanks, but don't sleep on Teddy Foster, man. Like, they're giving that guy a lot of opportunity, and I think the one guy that's probably not ready to contribute yet will be Grimsley. He was non-contact today, and he went through drills and stuff, and he's out there playing, which I'm surprised by, given some of the surgery stuff that we heard that he had.
Oh, okay. And
so for him to be out there right now, going through practice, jumping in some drills, trying to guard receivers, like, that's impressive. I'd be curious at what point he's going to play, and I don't think he'll be a guy yet that contends for that fourth spot, but at some point he might.
That's great stuff on that cornerback room. Again, I think there is that excitement. I think we know what's there. It's got to stay healthy, and the ceiling from the youth, hearing that about Ben Hanks and all the leap that he has made, that's really good. Linebackers, they look like dudes out there.
Yeah, man. Miles Graham, I got to meet with him this offseason and do a feature on him, and I think he's a guy that's really just primed for a breakout year. Like, it's clear that he's set himself up to be a starter. He's out there doing a lot more this year in terms of calling plays and stuff. it's important to note that they don't have Pup Howard out there. He's still not back. So,
Oh yeah.
Between Jaden Robinson and Aaron Childs, like I think all three of those guys are going to really factor into that rotation. Jaden Robinson was your starting middle linebacker, or your Mike, the last 4 games of the season during that winning streak.
Yeah, kid's a dude.
It was him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Howard was out for all those games, and I'd kind of shaken up my depth chart projection going into training camp once I knew that Howard's going to be out, because I don't necessarily think he's just going to automatically walk in and start again at Mike. Like, he's going to have to earn it back
Sure.
because he's been out for so long. Like, he was out for all of spring. He's not a guy that we're probably talking about enough because, the first 9 games of the season, he was the quarterback of the defense.
Yeah. Is there a timeline for him to return?
He looks good running around. I think it's clear he's going to play this season, but okay. Even if he gets cleared and is out there playing full go, like let's say the last week of camp, I don't know that he just automatically starts game 1. Like, I think the other guys are probably going to have earned that just because of all the work that they've put in the offseason and how they're playing too.
Good problem to have, though. Good problem to have. Those guys showed out last year. So I don't feel like it's a negative thing. I feel like if anything, it's just going to iron sharpens iron. It's just going to increase the intensity of that room the right kind of way. So
yeah, that is one of their better rooms on the football team. I don't necessarily know that it's as deep, but it's certainly as talented as any other room on the team.
You've watched plenty of practices, plenty of spring, fall camps. I don't know how many years to be exact, but I know it's a handful.
This is my 16th season, Sheldon.
Holy crap. Okay, a couple of handfuls. Where do you rank this right now? This fall presence, this team. Where do you rank it? How you feeling, Zach?
As far as roster,
the expectation. Well, the expectation, I think we all kind of know where that is. But where the roster's at, the depth, the talent, etc.
As astute alligator pointed out,
good point.
Just defensively, they've got the depth and the pieces to probably have their best defense for a whole season, probably in a while. Like better than anything we saw during the Mullen era. Better. Obviously the way that they played at the end of last season was great, but I'm talking about start to finish. It's been a while, like you said, probably since the McElwain defenses that we saw that were kind of a byproduct of the
beginning McElwain.
Yeah, I was going to say they were a byproduct of the Muschamp era. Yeah. McElwain got some good dudes from him.
Yeah, Muschamp was a dude on defense. Those teams were fun to watch defensively.
Now they got to stay healthy. They got to stay healthy on defense. They got to stay healthy on offense. But if they're healthy, we're talking about their healthy starting 22. It's a good football team. Offensively, it's the most talent that they've had since 2020, and the most probably firepower that they have. Obviously that was the incredible unit with Kyle Trask, Kyle Pitts, Kadarius Toney, Damian Pierce. That was a record-setting offense. This is the closest that Florida's, I think, had to matching that overall talent, top to bottom, depth-wise, offensive line, and then again, you couple that with maybe one of the best and most talented defensive units since the McElwain era. That's pretty good pieces, man. Now, again, you start having injuries and stuff. They have positions where if they start to take a hit, they don't necessarily have the depth to withstand a drop off, and it'll hurt them. But again, if they can avoid and stay healthy, I really like this team. It's not a joke that people are talking about them as a college football playoff contender or a team that could sneak in there if they get enough wins with that schedule.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got 500 plus strong. Zach Alberverdi joining us from On 3. Great stuff that we've been talking about all night so far. Great content on not only from the War Room that Zach has written, but also on their message boards from Astute Alligator on things that Zach and Co. could not report on. So,
yeah. And we got some stuff that we reported y'all can check out on Swamp Talk too, but shout out to him or her.
verdict's out. Verdict's still out on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
He has an take on the linebackers. I didn't see this. If aliens attack tomorrow, okay. Here we go. I'm sending U.S. linebacker corps to the front lines. People that big shouldn't be able to move like that. Okay, I think we're good. I don't understand where the concern is. The big thing, and I would love to be able to pick your brain more on the quarterback, but obviously his reason for concern. Because what did you? Let's talk about what you saw at media day. I feel like you kind of said, "Hey, these guys look good. They look to be the part." And I kind of wonder. I saw the whole spring practice. I thought Bailey and Warner looked good. Not great, but looked good for the consideration.
You talking about spring practice or the spring game?
The spring game.
Yeah, no, they Bailey had his best outing of the spring in that game.
Yeah, so that was his best. You've seen him since then.
Yes.
Okay, so it's been downhill since then.
No, I would say it's been downhill. Just that like, I mean, maybe there's something to be said. Is he a gamer? Is this guy that the lights come on and he that sense of urgency rises?
I think with Warner too. Warner is going to be kind of like your Brock Purdy-esque, where he's not going to do anything crazy. He's going to manage what's in front of him, not make too many mistakes, essentially. And I think that's what he did during the spring game. And so that's probably where I would say the drop-off may be. I don't know. I'm assuming here, just because I know what I saw 3 months ago. I don't assume these guys took a big step back. But then on the other side of it, I'm thinking, well, maybe DJ just looked that dang good that there is that much of a gap. And that would excite me for DJ Lagway. But again, the big concern, the big flag of like, he's got to stay healthy, which has been obviously a big topic of conversation.
I just want to point out, and I just posted this on the Gators Online message board because somebody was like, Florida's backup quarterback situation shouldn't be this bad or shouldn't look this bleak. Like,
okay,
Florida should have had a plan B. Well, they did. And he was signed, sealed, and delivered. And then he decided that he didn't want to compete with DJ Lagway. And he wanted to go to Georgia. And then Florida blocked him from going to Georgia. And then he went to Wake Forest. And he could have been at Florida as QB1 all spring and all summer and the first 2 days of fall camp and today. So, I bet Deshaun Purdy regrets his decision, number one. But, like, Florida's been pretty unlucky. They've had an unlucky string of quarterbacks that they recruited, invested, went all in on, signed, not making it to campus. Like, it's ridiculous. Like Jaden Rashada, I don't think anybody's upset about that. He didn't make it, but was signed. Austin Simmons reclassified, did all this work to enroll at Florida, and the 11th hour, I'm going to Ole Miss. Now he's starting for them this year. And then obviously, like I just said, Deshaun Purdy, you had him signed and then you let him out of his paperwork. So Florida's just been incredibly unlucky in that sense. So for anybody that's upset about their backup quarterback situation or thinks that this is on the staff or how could they let it get this bad, or sometimes that is I've never seen anything like that.
Is the cost of having DJ Lagway too a bit?
Maybe, but some of that, yes, but I guess yes, because all of that happened after DJ Lagway committed or was on the team or signed. To your point, but the Rashada thing had nothing to do with Lagway. But I do think Austin Simmons and Deshaun Purdy will probably be at the University of Florida right now if DJ Lagway had not either been committed or on the team.
But they want DJ Lagway.
But it's also, it's just, if the quarterback doesn't want to come here and compete, or that's something that, is holding him back, then it is what it is. But what's this? I think the stat last year that they told Deshaun Purdy was that I think there was only 2 teams in the SEC that played their whole season with their starting quarterback. 2.
Yeah. So
So
his
like
chances were good.
the chances of you playing a whole season with just one quarterback is not high, unfortunately. Now, for some teams and for some guys, they make it through the year. Florida's starting quarterback the last 2 seasons has been knocked out with a season-ending injury, and DJ got knocked out last year too. But the first guy I'm talking about is Graham Mertz. Graham Mertz had 2 season-ending injuries. So I mean, these guys that didn't want to come in and compete with Lagway, I mean, you can't see into the future. You don't know he's going to have all these injury things that have popped up, but it's just unfortunate because if Purdy would have stuck to his guns and went with his first instinct, which was I'm going to go to Florida and I'm going to sign with the Gators and I don't care that DJ Lagway is there, he would be in a much better situation and Florida would be in a much better situation. But it is what it is.
How much time you got left, Zach? Because I mean, we could sit here for hours.
I would like to be off here before my wife gets home.
What time is that?
I don't know.
If you hear her walk in, you just hang up. I just wanted to get your thoughts on this because the biggest, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but the conversation that's been brought up obviously is the stability of DJ Lagway and his health. From this talk around camp, from what you're hearing, is there like a Derrick Rose-esque concern of him having like staying healthy? That's not a problem. Like, these are just kind of like one-off things. It's more of a coincidence than like he's going to be an injury-prone kind of guy. Has that been a conversation at all?
Yeah, I think everything that's been going on with his lower body last season, this off season, training camp is all just additional setbacks to the shoulder. The shoulder is the real issue. The shoulder is why you're not throwing or weren't throwing, So, but that's just something that, as I said on Feinbaum, like he had that shoulder issue last season. So he's been making those throws with this issue. So, the concern is that you don't want that to keep being an issue. You don't want it to keep flaring up. You don't want it to hurt him further in the future, which is why he did all this rest and rehabilitation and work to make sure that he could, be able to make it through the season and not have the issue. So we're just going to have to see how it goes. But I don't question this dude's toughness. I don't expect that he's not going to be able to play. And I don't even necessarily expect that he's going to be having any ailments that's holding him back. Like, obviously it's football. You're going to get nicks and bruises and hits and stuff, but like, this is one tough dude. And I think he showed that at the end of last season.
I love it. I think that's hopefully going to calm some nerves. Probably not. I think that quarterback stuff's going to rally the troops for sure. But Zach, this has been awesome. I appreciate you. I know you've had a long day, so we'll let you go. I don't want the wife coming and yelling at us. That won't be no good. But tell them again, man, where they can give you a follow. I know you've got a lot of stuff you guys have been cranking out. People are like, I saw you dropping the elbow. Like, why is this behind a paywall? It's like, dude, this is gold information. That's exactly why it's behind a paywall. I was like, amen, brother. Let them know. But tell them they give you a fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it. And shout out to Shelton. My guy always gives me credit. Always name drops me. And is respectable about how he shares content. And he knows it's behind a paywall, which I, again, appreciate. Because, I want you guys to be able to talk about this stuff and send people to our site and kind of hype up this content. So if you're not a Gators Online and you're one of those people that are trying to, what's it say? Who's in there? Like, you can get in the door right now for $1. We got a promo going on. It's worth it. Sheldon can attest. You don't have to wait for his podcast or it to leak on Twitter or get screenshotted. Like, you can come read it on our site first, and then you can come watch Shelton break it down and react to it and have me or Keith on. But this is a great time to be at Gators Online. We've been all on top of the news this past week, and we're going to continue to do that.
I love it. Yeah, man. I'll see stuff break and like, man, I want to talk about it, and then you wait 20 minutes, and I was like, there's like 90 million screenshots. I was like, all right, this thing, the bag's out now, so
Yeah.
let's go talk about
Well,
it.
and usually, a lot of times it gets confirmed other places, and then once it's been reported in multiple spots, you don't got to hold back.
Yeah, that's kind of what I try to do is like I let you kind of, I mean, we're not in the news of breaking it, and we're more in the news of reacting and talking about it, just like everybody else. So I love where we're at.
Hey, not everybody is that generous. Some people there's some jack boys out there that
Yeah,
just
I know.
will slap it on an Instagram post and bow.
Yeah, breaking.
But
I know. It's tough, man. I think people got to understand like the work that goes into it, and I talk to you guys, so I appreciate what you do, and I appreciate you guys coming on the show. So means the world to me, and you guys always are awesome to chit chat with, man. So I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, and shout out to you and everybody in the independent Gator media space. That was a cool event that you guys had,
thanks,
and even more impressive that you guys didn't talk about DJ Lagway on air. I got to give it to you.
Yeah, that was. We kind of alluded to it a little bit, but yeah, everyone knew about the boot, but we were like, I'm not gonna have that blood on my hands. I'm not. No,
that's all right. I'll stand in the paint.
Yeah,
I'll be that guy. I gave him the bad news first, but then I came back with the good news on Friday. So
yeah, I don't know if I can handle the heat of breaking news and people not liking it. So I like being on this side of it. I have a whole set of heat that I have to deal with. Breaking news, I'm cool with it. Y'all can have that. So.
No, it's not for the faint of heart.
No, it's not. I'd rather.
I was sweating bullets putting out that DJ injury, even though I had it confirmed by like 6 people, and I knew the rumors were out. It was already being talked about on Shane Matthews' show, but it was still like I had to like report actual details and facts, and that's you don't mess around with that stuff.
You did a great job. It made me feel better about it, and then I went and made some calls and some texts to people who I know close to the situation, and felt better about it. But I have to even keep it kind of, again, people want to keep things private, so I get it. But I appreciate you, man. As always,
you're in a different space, man.
Yeah, different world. It's a cool world, but different for sure.
It's a spacesuit world.
It is. That's for sure. It is a spacesuit kind of world. Yeah, that's where I love to live. I love to be all dressed up in a spacesuit, and for a 16-year-old kid to break my heart and choose another school. That's where my happy place. Okay, that's where I thrive, if you will. So,
I love it.
Yeah, man, you be good, man. Be safe, and I'm sure we'll be in touch. And keep cranking those articles out. We love them.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you having me on as always, bud.
Yeah, man. Go Gators.
Ladies
and gentlemen, Zach Alberverdi from On 3, just dropping some knowledge, dropping some bombs, a lot of great information. Shout out to us, too. We're not going anywhere. We'll keep chatting here just a little bit. A couple of super chats that I missed, and I do apologize. $10 from a man, High Top Rook. Like and subscribe, or I'll find you. I love the aggression. Love the attitude there, Rook. There's over 500 people in here, boys and girls. Let's get to 200 likes if we can. Then $2 from Chad Hayes. Zach, my bad. Which position group are you most concerned about? That's a great question. That's a great dang question. He kind of alluded to, I think his concern. It's probably, from what Astute said, would be the quarterback as a whole, right? I think he gave us our thought. Like I asked about all the rooms that I felt that everyone was concerned about. The only room we didn't really get into, I guess, would be the safety room. But he felt ecstatic, in my opinion, on the defensive line. The defense, from what he was kind of talking about, what Astute was talking about, is top notch. Here's some. I pulled up his Twitter, Astute Alligator. It says, I thought Trey and Ball and Tank looked the most comfortable in the punt return role. So some question marks on that. Trey's the best option, but if they want to limit his injury risk, I bet you see Ball in safe hand situations and Tank when we need a house call situations. Very interesting there, right? Because we know DeBron Hampton, I think that we talked to him that he's going to be included in that. You hear about Abrams and Hawkins, like the speed. And of course, why is it Eugene back there? But it's a solid point of like, yeah, he's quick and he's speedy, but there's no need to set him up just to get absolutely T-boned every so often. And so that's an important role to think about. Mizell's another one, especially on punt return, kind of like Ricky Pearsall, why he isn't a thought to go back there. But I just ask the questions. I don't always have all the answers. But let's see if I don't think there's anything that he said on here. Reading this line, the left side. Let me quote this real quick. I'm going to quote Spit on me real fast. When Astute says the left side of the O-line is going to maul people, in the run game. When Slaughter, Harris, and Barber, some of my three favorite players, all get going on one side, it's a freight train. The O-line was much better at run blocking than in pass pro, but some of that was on the backup quarterback. So great analysis there, because again, I understand that, hey, when I'm pass pro, I've got to rely on my quarterback to make the right read, to get the ball off quickly. And so we're in the sense that, hey, this is a 1-2 read, you got to get it out quickly. And if he doesn't, then the O-line's having to work to what we're hearing is a monstrous defensive line, right? Having to go into overtime to I want to say the word dog, but a beast of a line, and probably has to fall flat because of that a couple of times. So, again, if you guys weren't here earlier, we talked about all of Astute Alligator's tweets, who was somebody that was at the game, at the practice today. Because again, I know I got this from Cam Parker, that everything that happened after the media part that we all saw, they were not allowed to talk about it. They were informed that, hey, you cannot report, you can't talk, you can't tweet, you can't post, you can't do anything what you see. Like, I respect it. I get it. I get it a lot. Again, great question though, of like, there's going to be people there like Astute Alligator, they're going to write it. So maybe they weren't thinking that it wasn't going to get as out because of it. I don't know. Because you know that we're going to find it. We don't have to, we weren't asked to not follow any rules, right? So I don't know. I don't know what the agenda was, but I think what excites me is that there's just a lot of stability around this football team, from reading all this. What does concern me was the criticism from the quarterback room. I would like to see more of that. I hope we get to see more and hear about that. We'll have some scrimmages. We have two scrimmages, I think, 2 or 3 before the season starts. So maybe we'll get some more information on that quarterback room. And again, Harrison Bailey is an interesting one, right? And he said the delta wasn't that much of a difference between Bailey, Warner, and Tramel Jones, which I love hearing that for Tramel, true freshman coming in and looking the part. Again, I think there's probably a little more, just because of what I saw from the spring game. Now, maybe I do know that defensive line was missing some pieces during the spring game, so maybe they're a little more sharpened, they're a little more elite this time. I would have loved to know play calling, right? That would have been great for Astute to give us, like, hey, here's what we're running, here's how these guys are looking, because again, DJ was there for 7-on-7, but not for 11-on-11. Is that going to affect play calling? A lot of great questions. Nothing on the running back room, from what I can tell. Yeah, no comments on the running back room. So interesting stuff there. Let me see if there's anything else that maybe somebody else commented towards it. Okay, I'm not seeing anything else. There's a lot of people love to kind of suck onto the negativity. So there's a lot of conversations about the quarterback room more than anything else. But we'll see. Baylor's a gamer. I hope he's the backup. And again, we saw Bailey kind of really turn it up. And again, I think what I gathered from Adrian Warner during the spring game is that he's very Graham Mertz-like, with a better arm. And even I talked with Balin Trillo, I thought he kind of gives me Mertz vibes. Just has great pocket presence, gets the ball off quickly, just reads his routes very well and makes the best decision he thinks possible, and will throw it away if it's not there. He's not going to try to overdo something. It's just not in his arsenal. Where Bailey just wants to kind of like, they took the gloves off. He's like, just let me get out here and just draw this thing up in the dirt and let's sling the dang thing. Let me just get it to the best player. I got this. So you got 2 different styles there, and you got DJ that obviously is just your unicorn that rock and rolls in there. The reason why I hate this noise, because I love to be excited, and I just know the air got sucked out of the room at Georgia last year. Now, in my opinion, it rightfully so. It should have got sucked out of the room because we were going to our 3rd-string quarterback. What I don't want to have happen is that this fan base completely just dies because something may or may not happen. And so I would like, And again, there could be more blessing in disguise that these guys are just getting more and more reps. Like, honestly, from the fact of what I'm hearing is like, let them practice some more then. I've seen enough. Let them get more practice. Let them get more comfortable. I want that quarterback room to be as comfortable as possible. But again, the defensive line, we've had our conversations on here. When I went through it, when we broke it down, Cody and I broke it down like 2 Sundays ago, I was on the confident side because if you look at the snaps, you look at the quality of players that are there that's returning, and then if you have any upside for the guys that are plugging in, this defensive line has massive potential. And to hear that today, that it's basically everything that I thought, Tavarius Brown is somebody that I've been saying for quite some time, was a name that got brought up, that name that brought attention to them, right? Mabacho was somebody that Stephen Harris brought up. He goes, that guy's going to be a dog or a dude. That he met from the camp. So these are 2 names that we've already been talking about just from our own conversations here and there, what we've saw, and now it's starting to be seen and heard once again. Again, this astute alligator guy, I imagine, is fairly closely connected, and so probably has a pretty great analysis of the entire situation. Maybe it's, I don't want to say it. I don't want to get into it. Well, it's one of the reporters' burners. That would be gold. That would be gold. I'm not saying that it is, but this is what happens when the brain gets going. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Thoughts? I like these birders in Florida's Twitter is amazing. Like, it's unbelievable. All these like fake, like these quiet accounts. I think the Amir Armory may finally break out at tight end. Yeah, I didn't see. Did he tweet anything about the tight ends? Did I miss that? Come on, Astute, be better. I loved the linebacker quote. If aliens attack tomorrow, hold on. I'm gonna just post all the stuff because this is awesome. Man. All right, boys. 500 strong in here. Be sure to smash the like button. Let's get after it. Calling it now. Sap winning the Nagurski trophy. I love it. I think we have 2 900-yard rushers from area code 11. Let's see what Michael Dixon has to say. Bailey and Dallas hooked up the whole spring game. Yeah, they were inseparable, but obviously that has changed. You heard Zach talk about the rotation in the depth chart, and it's different from what he thought it should be. And again, I believe that it's because of Dallas Wilson, which he did allude to, was going to be a big one. I think Montgomery is going to be huge as well. Suterman's going to be a big impact player as well. So a lot of great stuff. Dallas Wilson is what DJ was for us last year, right? That freshman phenom that we just can't get enough of. In a phenomenal spot too. Phenomenal position to make some incredible things happen. I'm dude, watching these clips today, boys. I was fired. I was tweeting nonsense. Like, that's where I was at with it. People don't understand my humor. I would say I'm going to square up with somebody like it's just the blood's pumping, right? You just want to run through a wall kind of thing. And you got some sensitive Sallies on this app. Like, you're going to get your butt beat. Like, dude, you got to relax. Read the room, okay? Like, I'm like a $190 soaking wet. I know where I stand here. That doesn't mean I'm not going to chirp, okay? Like, I'm going to let you know what's up, all right? Listen, the lies are going to be spewing out. I told y'all 2 days ago, as soon as we get a Lagway clip, it's going to hit like crack on a Tuesday. And it hit harder than that. Like, it took us to a level that I didn't think was even possible. I mean, we are a wild bunch. A wild bunch. And you gave us our prized possession in DJ Lagway today. Looked the part, felt the part. It was just clicking, you know? And that's a dangerous place to be. Dangerous place to be if you're on the opposing side. Fantasy flip list from Corey Bender. Man, I'm not even ready to talk about recruiting. These boys cranking out some news here, boys. And the boys are dialed in. These boys are dialed in. How we feeling, though, boys? After the conversation with Zach, after Astute Gator just giving us some absolute nuggets, how we feeling? Jimbo says if Sheldon's 190, I'm 250. I'm like 184. 184, 183. Let's see here. Our DBs can't cover our wide receivers. Is this okay? I didn't gather that. Muddy says, hear me out. This running back group has potential to be like Wisconsin's 2010 squad. They had 3 1,000-yard rushers. They're that deep. Damn, what a squad. Muddy just be pulling data, bro. He's like Rayman. He would just be pulling data. Martha Beers. I think we're bringing home the natty, and I can't wait. I love it. Here we go. Tim Bucks from David. By the way, Sheldon, I tried looking for you at the spring game, but I missed you. I had a cigar that I was going to give you. No worries. I'll definitely see you soon. David, we had an entire tailgate set up. If you missed us, that's 100% on you, bro. We were in one spot for 3 hours. We live streamed from the parking spot. We advertised it for weeks. But I wish I could have got the cigar. Would have smoked it. I think VB3 and Dallas are contending for starting jobs, to be honest. Look, man, VB3 is what Eugene Wilson was 2 years ago. And Eugene Wilson hit the field like lightning. And you got to think that Eugene Wilson, they learned a lot from him on how do we grow him, how do we work him to make sure that he's healthy. So they're able to have a blueprint from Eugene and now apply it to VB3 to make sure that VB3 has a more successful freshman year, unlike Eugene did. And VB3 is going to have a plethora of talent surrounding him where he doesn't just become the sitting duck like Eugene did. So, yeah, VB3 could hit the ground running and look like an absolute star, which he is a star. But you know what I mean? Like just kind of, if we want to compare him to freshman Eugene, I think he can have a better year than freshman Eugene Wilson. And Eugene's freshman year was phenomenal. It was shortened, but it was the time that he was on the field, we all know, was electric. VB3 is going to do that and then some. And so, yeah, he's going to be a legitimate threat and a legitimate starter, in my opinion. $2 from Martha Beers. Thank you, Martha Beers, for the $2. I'm excited for the wide receiver room for years to come. I'm excited if we're going to be able to maintain it and keep it, right? I think that's with the new age of college football and the portal, it's hard to get excited about the future as much because what if, I don't know who people are going to stay, if they would buy into the future. That's always going to be a concern. Always. With the Pyburn situation last year, it's hard for me to get, like, I want to be excited. I'm excited. Don't get it. I'm not like negative about it, but you really don't know where everybody sits until they can get that thing figured out. That to me is the only, I would say, negative thing I have about college football is like back in the day, you would get excited about these kids' growth because like, hey, like he may not be this year, but we know what he's going to be able to turn into. We've lost a little bit of that. And when you get a room like the wide receiver room, that's what concerns me. Now, here's the pro, like Sudervant, he'll be done after this year. Eugene possibly could be. I think that he would be primed to come back for another year. And so this room could be, with the recruiting classes now, and if it were to stay the way it is and nobody leaves, it's going to be even electric next year. You know what I mean? About to average 35 points a game. And look, that's a big thing. We talk about that from time to time with Dave, right? I think we averaged 27. And I think we did the math. If we averaged 32 last year, we would have won 2 more games. Like, that was a huge factor for us. That defense was a huge factor, too, because of the exchange or the change that it made after that Georgia game, essentially, is when it kind of got going. So if we can get started off early with that and then averaging on top of that, just 32. It's not that you have to average 35. If you're averaging 35, you're no joke looking at 10-11. I'm not even being facetious. I'm not pumping Kool-Aid. Go look at the numbers. We've talked about it from time to time of where the top guys stand, right? Where our defense was at the end of the year last year, and you're averaging 35 a game in comparison to what was last year. If we would put that production to last year's schedule, you're looking at 10-11 wins. That's a fact. That's not me, again, sunshine pumping. That is just by analytical data supporting what you need to know. So those are all big things to look forward to. Again, we're going to have I'm assuming we should have a overwhelming number for the first 2 games where it blows this average out of the water and it's super, what's the word I'm looking for? Obtuse is not the correct terminology, but it would be an obtuse number, right? Is it the word obtuse? That doesn't sound right. It's not obtuse. What's the word I'm looking for? Outlier. Golly. Struggling, kid. Outlier. It would be an outlier. Obtuse. What the hell was I thinking? That's not even close. Anyways, good stuff. I'm trying to see if there's anything else on Twitter. If there's any other like great information. Maybe Astute's cousin was there, you know, and he could give us some juice. My Twitter. All right. Well, great show. I told you Saturday's show was going to be electric. I didn't think it was going to be this good, but by golly, it's been a juicy one. Y'all be good. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. We'll be live tomorrow at 8:35, 05. I don't remember what time we go live on Sundays, but those shows have been doing great. Cody the Professor will be joining us. We'll talk about a lot of great things on that one, but maybe we'll get some more takeaways from yesterday's game. Some more Astutes, cousins, and nephews and whatnot. We'll drop us some more nuggets. Y'all be good. Check out the merch store. We got the Beat LSU shirts up. You don't want to miss them. They're absolute bangers. Already sold a couple of them. Get them while they're hot, ladies and gentlemen. Get them while they're hot. Y'all be good. Stay safe. The thunderstorms be wild out there. Yes, I will be at the LIU game. The wife and I will be two and a half deep strong because she'll be preggo. Y'all be good. I appreciate y'all. Smash the like button. Subscribe. I'll see y'all tomorrow. 8:05, 8:30. I don't know yet. Y'all be good. Peace and love, baby.